I decided to film in front of my bookshelf again because I reorganized it and I am in love with it. So I'm back in front of my shelves again. Hi guys, it's Tasha and this video is my TBR for Diversity Bingo 2017. I am so pumped for this. If you have not heard of Diversity Bingo 2017, it's this thing that started on Twitter. I think there was Diversity December Bingo, something like that. And then it turned into Diversity Bingo 2017. This is what the bingo sheet looks like. The goal is to fill out this entire bingo sheet in 2017. I think there are 36 squares and each square has a different prompt for a diverse read. Diversity Bingo was created by a bunch of people which are on the bingo sheet. They encourage you to read own voices books. Sometimes I found it quite difficult to figure out if a book was own voices, especially trying to figure out the sexuality of authors, because obviously that's not something that everyone just has on their Twitter bio or their author page, whatever. I tried really hard to find mostly own voices books. There's one prompt where I'm still missing a book. I just can't find a book that I really want to read, and I don't want to force myself to read any kind of book for this. Since I'm gonna mention a lot of books for this because sometimes I have 2 or 3 books picked out for a prompt, I'm not gonna talk about what each book is about. If I picked out 2 or 3 books for a prompt, obviously it would be amazing to read all of those, but I just wanted to have options for each topic. Okay, that was a lot of rambling. I'm just gonna get into my TBR now. For a romance with a trans main character, I have 3 books picked out, one being If I Was a Girl by Meredith Russo. I actually already own this book, so I'm definitely gonna read this one. I also have picked out Bad Boy by Elliot Wake and Beast by Bree Spangler. For a non-binary main character, I have picked out Symptoms of Being Human by Jeff Garvin. I'm actually not sure if this one is own voices. You're supposed to read an own voices book for this, but I couldn't figure out if this one was. If you know, please let me know down below or give me another recommendation. For a science fiction fantasy book with a disabled main character, I chose On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Duivis. For practicing Jewish main character, I have 2 books picked out, one being All of a Kind Family by Sydney Taylor, and then also The Boy's Own Manual to Being a Proper Jew by Ellie Glassman. If I remember correctly, the main character is not straight. I'm not sure what they are, but not straight. For an Indian main character that is own voices, I chose Soulmated by Shayla Patel, which I think comes out next year. A lot of these are 2017 releases, so for some of them, I'll have to wait until I can acquire them. For displaced main character, I have 2 options again, one being Magnus Chase by Rick Riordan, and the other book with the displaced main character I have is Fight or Flight by Jamie Canoza. For main character with an underrepresented body, I have, again, 2 books, one being Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. I actually just ordered this, so definitely reading that one. But then I also have Nice Girls Endure by Chris Streak-Bon. For a neurodiverse main character, I have Queens of Geek by Jen Wild. This is also a 2017 release. For a retelling with the main character belonging to the LGBTQIA community, I have chosen Ash by Melinda Lowe. This is a lesbian or female romance Cinderella retelling. For a bisexual main character that is own voices, I have 2 picks again, one being How to Make a Wish by Ashley Blake, and the other one is Out on Good Behavior by Dahlia Adler. For a main character with an invisible disability, I have One Last Song by SK Falls and History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. For a main character with an anaphylactic allergy, I've chosen My Year of Epic Rock by Andrea Pyros. For a main character of color in science fiction fantasy, I want to read The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Adier. For an own voices Latinx main character, I wanted to read Labyrinth Lost by Sarita Cordova. Then there's the option for a free choice, so you can read any diverse book, and I'm sure I'll find one for that. I don't have one picked out right now because I'm sure there will be several other diverse books that I can just put in there. For a non-Western real-world setting, I want to either read The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig or The Lost Girl by Sangu Mandana. I'm doing such a bad job at pronouncing these names. I'm so sorry. For an own voices book, I want to read Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gurnell, a main character with chronic pain. For this, I want to read Far From You by Tess Sharp. And in this, the main character is also bisexual, which is great. For a West Asian setting, I have written down 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. I'm pretty sure this is a West Asian setting. I haven't done a lot of research, I should have done that. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. For an Arab main character that is own voices, I want to read A Bottle in the Gaza Sea by Valerie Senati. Already ordered this, so definitely gonna read this one. A main character with a wheelchair. For this I picked out Push Girl by Chelsea Hill, and I'm pretty sure this one is own voices. A book by an author of color. For this I'm going to read The Young Elites by Mary Lou. For a biracial main character that is own voices, I have picked out Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bauman. I'm not even sure if this one has a cover. This is another 2017 release. For a pansexual main character that is own voices, this one took me way too long to find. Shouldn't have been that hard. I have two picked out. One is 7 Ways We Lie. I did not write down the author, but here's, you can probably see it on the cover. This features multiple point of views, and one of these is pansexual. I don't think this one is own voices. Then I also have a nonfiction book for this called Beyond Magenta. This book features interviews and maybe essays, I'm not sure, of transgender and gender neutral people, and in the recommendation list where I found this book, it is stated that one of these people that is interviewed is pansexual. Also, one of the main characters from Out on Good Behavior, which I already mentioned for the bisexual main character, this also features a pansexual main character, but I don't think that is own voices regarding the pansexual character. For a black main character that is own voices, I have picked out Tiny Pretty Things by... wait, I have it here. This one, Tiny Pretty Things by Sona Sharapatra and Danielle Clayton, and also The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is another 2017 release. For a main character that is on the ace spectrum, again being own voices, I have Interface by Lucy I don't even know how to pronounce this. I am so sorry. I should have looked it up. But Interface by Lucy. And another one I've picked up for this, which isn't own voices though, is Tosh Hart's Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. For an LGBTQIA main character of color, I have 3 books picked out. One being If You Could Be Mine by Sarah Farazan, also Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and Cam Girl by Leah Rader. For a visually impaired main character, I have 2 picks, Run by Cody Keplinger, which is own voices, and Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan, which I don't think is own voices. For a book set in Central America, I don't have anything yet. This is the one prompt where I'm finding it very difficult to find a book that I'm actually interested in reading. So if you have any recommendations, preferably young adult, leave them down below in the comments. For a contemporary world arranged marriage, I have 2 picks, Written in the Stars by Aisha Saeed and When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. For an indigenous main character that is own voices, I want to read The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Alexi Sherman. For diverse nonfiction, I want to read In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. For a book with a person of color on the cover, I have 2 picks. One I already mentioned, When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon, and then also I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. For a deaf or hard of hearing main character, I've picked out Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. For an immigrant or refugee main character, I have A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. And lastly, for a hijabi main character that is own voices, I want to read I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. This is a nonfiction book which I've had on my TBR for ages, and it's wrapped in one of these books. That was my TBR for Diversity Bingo 2017. Obviously, these choices can change depending on if I find another book that fits a prompt, or if I decide to not read one of these books, or whatever. But for now, these are the books that I have picked out, and I am so excited to get started on this. I would love to know if you are going to join Diversity Bingo. Tell me down below in the comments. I think that was everything I wanted to mention. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. That was it for this time, and I will see you next time. Bye! I think I overdid it with the contour today. For main character with an oh, this is gonna be great. For main character with an underrepresented... why is that so hard to say? For main character with an... this is gonna be... an anaphylactic allergy. Why can't I say that? I want to read Under Rose In Order to Live by Yeonmi. Yeonmi.